Hi everyone! So in this video I will share with you what I changed with my listings on Etsy to make them rank higher and get found when someone is searching for a specific term. In my previous video I covered all the basics you need to know to make your shop appear appealing, and now that we've set the base we can go into more detail about the listings first and other stuff in future videos. So first things first, when you create a new listing, the first thing you are required to do is add a few photos. Now, the more photos you add, the better. And mind you, I don't always find it easy to add a lot of photos, and some of my listings don't have a lot of photos, but that doesn't mean that it is not important. It means that I've been lazy and I haven't found the time to update all of my listings yet. So, make sure you photograph your artwork well. I've already made a video on this, so check this out if you're interested in that. I will put the link in the description below and at the top of the screen. I'm not sure where it appears, anyway. And make sure your photos are attractive, because it is the first impression you get about your listing, and it's kind of the deciding factor of whether or not someone will click your listing and see what else you are writing below it and all the details you have on your listing. Pay attention to the photo you pick to be the first one, and make sure below the photographs where the thumbnail is that it is well centered and it is attractive, even when it is cropped to the size that Etsy has for the listings to appear on Etsy search. Next up is the title. It used to be, a few months ago, they changed the way Etsy search and SEO works. So it used to be that we had to repeat the same important word over and over again, even on the title, and that didn't look very attractive to the customer, so they changed that. Now, a short, user-friendly title will rank better on Etsy search, even if it doesn't have a lot of tags and repetitive terms and words in it. It is best to use a title that it is attractive to the customer and that will make them click on your listing and see more of it. Repetitive words don't rank higher anymore, and it is a mistake that a lot of shops are doing still, because they didn't realize that the change happened and they don't take advantage of the whole spectrum they have to rank higher in more search inquiries. Your goal now is to use as many words as possible that are different to each other and all describe your item well. And for that reason, you can also use the fields below, the color or the vertical and horizontal orientation. All of these things act as separate tags for your listing. Whether or not you use the word horizontal in your title or your tags, it doesn't matter if in the field that asks for this specific information, you click the horizontal option. So in this way, using all the fields that are available to you, using different words within the title and the tags, you get found for a lot of different searches that someone who visits Etsy might do. It is not your goal anymore to rank high for one specific keyword that's the main keyword for your listing. It is your goal to use as many keywords as possible and fill all the fields in order to take advantage of that option you are given. After that comes the description. The description, especially the first couple of lines, are very important, because it is what Etsy and Google uses to determine what your listing is all about. You need to squeeze in a lot of keywords in there, but in a way that is user-friendly. Don't make it unreadable just for the search engine to find you, because then someone who will look at your listing will not be satisfied with what they're reading. But even after those first couple of lines, it is important to write a long, informative description, because it is good for someone to know exactly what they're looking at and have all the information they need to know before they click the buy button or not. As I mentioned in my previous video, it is time now to take a look at your listing from a third-person perspective. Imagine you are the customer and you stumble upon a listing. Wouldn't you want to know all the information available to you before you click the buy button? Wouldn't you trust the listing more if it was giving you information about the packaging and the shipping and the policies of the shop, or the materials used, and maybe extra information about why the art was created, what's the story behind it, what was the purpose of the artist when they created the artwork? The description is mainly for that reason and not for ranking or being found. It is your opportunity to make your artwork attractive to someone and give them a reason to trust you. Show them that you're actually interested in your shop, that you're serious about what you're doing, and that they should buy your artwork because it's worth it. I myself have noticed that the listings I had with longer descriptions and more attractive stories behind the artwork were actually performing better just because of that. They were just more attractive. Below that, it's your time to put the tags. Now again, a few months ago it was required to use the same word again and again and again so that you could rank higher for that specific word. Your goal now is to use all 13 tags and as much of the characters allowed available to you within each tag, to use different words, as many different words as possible, in order to get found for different search inquiries that a user might make. It's hard, it's not always easy, especially with artwork, because most of the times our subjects are specific. But if, for example, you've done a wildlife portrait, use the word wildlife, use the specific animal you've created, use the word animal, use different stuff, not the same repetitive term all over again. A nice trick that I have learned about the tags as well is that it is very useful to take the step back again and think like the customer. Some people will make search inquiries for romantic painting or mystical atmosphere or nursery room artwork. They will not search for a lion portrait. Even though they might buy one, they are actually searching for a living room decoration or for a housewarming gift. Try to think of what you would search if you were looking for an artwork. Sometimes even that may not be exactly appropriate, because as artists we tend to think on a little bit of a different way when we are searching for artworks, but try to think as a different person. Try to figure out what is the problem they are having and how you are solving it. They are looking to make their house more beautiful, usually. They are not looking to buy a lion portrait. Maybe they are looking for a gift. Maybe they are looking for a birthday present. These count too. It doesn't have to be a search for artwork or for the specific subject that you've drawn. Try to be creative with that and use terms that you wouldn't have thought otherwise. Enough about that though, I think I rambled a lot and you get the point. Then comes the time to list your materials. Don't skip that part. There are a lot of people who would be interested to know what exactly you're using, and maybe more technical people or artists like you who want to know if you are using quality materials or what you prefer. And they would be interested to know exactly what you use to make the artwork you made or the print you made. So it's one more opportunity to use extra words and give extra information about your artwork. Generally, don't skip anything. Fill as many fields as possible and use as many words as possible. Then comes the personalization option. That's not always an option for all of us, but if you are doing custom artworks and you can somehow change things up for the customer, let them know and make them choose what they want to change about your listing and help them get exactly what they want. The price can be a completely different topic, a huge topic for artists, but all I want to say here is that you can pay attention to the thresholds. If you go to the search of Etsy, on the left, there are filters you can use. One of them is, for example, under 20 euros. So if you were planning to list something for 21, just saying, you might want to spare that one and use 1950 or something, so that if someone clicks that filter, your listing will not get excluded just for €1 or 50 cents. The same goes for, I think, listings below 50 euros. I'm not saying completely change your pricing policy, just pay attention to the search, because some people are clicking those filters and you might get excluded of their search for next to nothing. It's not worth it. Same goes for shipping, which is why Etsy insists so much on free shipping. Now, I understand that not everyone can provide that. I can, because in Greece the postage is extremely cheap and I can make it free so that when someone clicks the filter for free shipping, I will appear in their search. If it is possible for you, take advantage of it. If it's not, keep in mind the filters and try to make it so that you appear on as many as possible without it being a huge burden on you and a huge change on your policies and the way you think about your art. I will get into more detail about these things on my next video, which is going to be full of random, interesting facts that maybe you wouldn't have thought otherwise, including tips and tricks like these that is not directly obvious to someone who creates a listing and a shop on Etsy. It will be the small things that will make a huge difference on taking your shop to the next level. So I really hope this video was useful to you. I know for some of you these are very basic things that you may know already, but I do want to cover the basics for those who are just starting out or who really want to recheck their shop from zero to the top. And I need to say those things in order to get to the next videos who are more advanced. If you have any questions or inquiries for a specific topic, let me know in the comments below. I will make sure to answer all of your questions and make extra videos if it is needed to specify or get into more detail on specific things. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up before you go so that you can let others know that it was interesting. If you'd like to see more like this video, consider subscribing to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell button so that you get notifications whenever I upload something new or go live or any activity I might have on my channel. I hope to see you on the next video. Until then, be safe, be happy and keep going for your dreams. Bye.